Hey y'all, welcome back for another episode. It's your girl Slim Reshae, and I am super excited to kind of wrap up a little bit of this talk about boundaries. We've been talking about this all month pretty much. The first week of May, we talked about boundaries in the workplace, in the work environment. The second week, we talked about boundaries in your family, like within your family. And today, it's only right to kind of wrap up this boundary talk with boundaries when it comes to yourself. So a lot of times we have all these different structural things that we put in our life so we can live peacefully and remain sane and all that stuff. But a lot of times we also forget to have things in place for ourselves. And so I wrote down 2 specific boundaries, and each boundary has like kind of 2 caveats. So we're going to run through that today. I'm going to keep it short, sweet, and to the point, so you guys can, get all the gems from this little tea that I'm about to share. So when it comes to boundaries for yourself, I feel like one main boundary or one main thing that needs limitation is accessibility. And what I mean by that is when you're pouring from your cup, this is cran grape juice. When you're pouring from your cup into other people's cups, but you have, say, if I took this amount of cran grape juice and I poured it across 20 shot glasses, everyone's gonna get about this much juice. It's gonna hit 20 people, but they're only gonna get by this much juice. Versus if I poured this into another glass similar to this, if I'm only pouring into 1 or 2 other people, one, I can give more myself to that person, and it can be more effective. So when it comes to restricting accessibility, you don't want to everyone shouldn't have access to you. So every Tom, Dick, and Harry, Sally, Sue, and Joe shouldn't be able to have access to you. So that's the first part of accessibility. So in layman's terms, narrow down that circle. If you don't even have a circle and you just got a whole plethora of people that you just allow to have access from you, that means so many people are taking, and 9 times out of 10, you don't have that amount of people pouring back into you. And so kind of tighten up that circle, restrict access. Everyone does not need to have access to you. If you're one of those people where it's hard for you to say no, this is your moment, this is your warning, this is your sign. Start saying no. N-O, no. You can say it politely. I'm sorry, no, can't do that. I don't think about that. But no, say no, because what I've learned is the more and more, I'm used to burning the candle at both ends. And when you keep doing that, it's going to burn out quicker. And you're going to burn out quicker if you keep saying yes to all these people instead of like using the word no and, tightening up who you give your energy to. And so that's the first part of accessibility. And then the second part is how often you give them access. So once you kind of narrow down your circle and you don't allow all these random people to just come in and access your energy and come in and disturb your day or come in and take from what you're pouring, after you limit the amount of people who have access to you, the people who made the cut, you have to also limit how much they have access to you. So what I mean by, if you have a group of friends and say you got 10 friends and family members, and that's your small group, that's the people who have accessibility to you, you have to put a limit on how accessible you are to them, because at the end of the day, you have to block out time for yourself. And that's the whole point of having a boundary when it comes to accessibility, creating a boundary for that, because you have to dedicate time to yourself as well. And so that's the first part that I wanted to kind of summarize for you, because I didn't realize that I needed to put up that boundary and have a boundary for accessibility until someone told me, like, you know what, I feel like a lot of people have access to you, before I really learned how to say the word no. And I was like, you know what, I never thought about it that way. And maybe you haven't thought about it that way. You haven't thought like, oh, like I literally let anyone who comes knocking at the door have access to me. And you might not even realize it because you're just a kind person or you like to help people. So you might not realize it that you might be saying yes to everyone who needs you or asks you for something. Like you might come to their rescue all the time. And maybe if that's you, you might need to kind of reevaluate how much you allow yourself to be accessible to other people. And so then getting on to the second point, and kind of like, I guess it's a boundary. When I say boundaries so often, it's really just like having a set standard of what you will allow and what you will not allow. That's basically the definition of boundaries, kind of in this whole little mini series. And so I wanted to talk about what you tolerate from other people. And so that's going to be the first part. And what I mean by that is a lot of times we put up with things that we shouldn't put up with because we're tolerable people. We're not intolerable people. If you usually are like a go with the flow kind of person, that kind of thing, sometimes that can snowball into people using you, and you not realize that people are using you, or they're taking you for granted because you're just so nice and you like to help people and do all these things for people. So I think it's very important to set a standard for what you will tolerate from other people. And with that, there might be like different levels to it. So like what I tolerate from my mom, my dad, my sister, my brother, my family, what I tolerate from them is gonna be different than what I tolerate with when it comes to my friends. Like I'm gonna be tolerable with my family for most things. But when it comes to like friends and stuff like that, like I'm going to tolerate but so much. But once it gets to a certain point, it's just going to be like, I'm not putting up with that, or I'm not dealing with it. Or it's almost like a pick and choose your battles kind of thing. But pick and choose like what you will tolerate and what you will not tolerate. And once you identify the things that you will not tolerate, like it might be something as simple as like you have a friend and say like they hit you up all the time, but every time they hit you up, they always need something. That's something I had to teach myself to not tolerate, because as a person that's giving and likes to help people, whenever my friend would come and need something, like I would always be there for them. But in the end, it was like I wasn't benefiting myself by tolerating the last minute, the neediness from those friends. And so I had to like draw the line and be like, you know what, I'm not tolerating this, because now I'm putting myself in a position where I have to scramble to get stuff done, or I have to reorganize my schedule to accommodate someone else. And that is kind of what I mean when it comes to what you tolerate with other people. And then the second caveat to the second point is what you tolerate from yourself. And so the same way, like when you go out and you treat others how you want to be treated, like you need to treat yourself how you want to be treated. If you're not gonna let someone else talk down on you, you shouldn't talk down on you. If you're not gonna tolerate someone else doubting you about something that you're confident in, you shouldn't doubt yourself about something that you're doing, that you're passionate about, and all that kind of things. You have to, check yourself, okay? We gonna check ourselves when we start to treat us other than how we feel like we should be treated. We need to love ourselves how we want to be loved. We need to pamper ourselves how we want. If you want to be encouraged, encourage yourself. You get what I'm saying? Like the same way you would encourage someone else because you would want someone else to encourage you back, You encourage yourself, you hype yourself up, you like give yourself your flowers, just like you want to give other people their flowers. Treat yourself. You are a person too. You can help maintain like a better level of stability when you start treating yourself the way that you deserve and know that you should be treated. And so don't take no mess, don't start no stuff, won't be no. But no, for real though, I feel like that's made such a difference for me, because like every time I get to a point and I'm like, dang, like my content is flopping, like I'm not a good content creator and all these things like that, I have to snap and check myself real quick, because I'm like, first of all, no, because ain't nobody else gonna tell me that, because I know I'm a good content creator. So then I have to flip myself from being that anybody else to it being me, and being like, wait a minute, girl, what you're not gonna do is you're not about to play yourself. And for a long period of time, my screensaver was actually a picture of me, and I put the words on it. I said, quit playing with you. Because I feel like a lot of times we be trying to play with our own self, and we be trying to acting like we're not giving what we supposed to have gave, but we are giving what we supposed to have gave. Like, and if you don't understand, for my mature listeners who are not millennials or Gen Z, that basically means like you are bomb.com. And if you try to downplay yourself, like we're not doing that. We are bomb.com, and we're gonna wear it on our t-shirt. Okay, we are gonna support ourselves the way that we want to be supported. We're gonna encourage ourselves the way that we want to be encouraged. And when you do that and you do it to other people, it's just a constant flow of positivity, a constant flow of encouragement, a constant like uplifting for whatever you decide to do. And people can see that, because I feel like a lot of people around me, they give me good vibes, good energy, positivity, encouragement, all of that, because that's something that I embody. That's something that I give myself. That's something that I give other people. So I just think it's something that we should definitely think about and work on, and it'll help you kind of remain a little bit balanced. And with all that being said, I'm gonna end right here. Reward yourself the same way that you might do a kind gesture for someone else. Like you might pay for someone's Starbucks, or you might I don't know, send someone a kind note, or sometimes I'll randomly like send my friend, like I'll cash app them and be like, hey, lunch on me, or something like that. If I'm just like feeling in the mood to do a random act of kindness, start doing random acts of kindness and rewarding yourself. Like I literally just went grocery shopping and I got me some Oreos. Why? Because I don't be snacking like that, but I deserve a little snack here and there. I know, and that's nothing big, but if you had a good week, this goes back to when we was talking about our midweek. I think I posted it on our Instagram, like a midweek celebration. Weekly, celebrate your accomplishments that you've done during the week. Celebrate what you've done. Just celebrate you. Celebrate life. Celebrate love. Celebrate just any and everything, because you are making it. You are doing it. No matter where you are in life right now, you are literally making it. You are literally making steps forward. You're progressing. And don't let anyone tell you otherwise. You are literally progressing. Whatever you're doing, wherever you're going, and there's people that believe in you. God believes in you. He's fighting for you. Like he's literally, like, you still have purpose. If you're here, you have purpose. Okay? And you are progressing towards that purpose. So keep shining. I love y'all so very much. I'm super excited that I've finally been able to bring y'all this video, because the Lord made time for me, because the time was just skinching, but here we are. And so I'm excited I got this episode out for y'all. Next month, I have a special guest that should be coming on the show for the rest of this month. She's going to talk about some mental health things, because I want to make sure that you are good, we are good, and we are making sure that we stay on top of our mental health, because it is very important. And if you didn't know, this month is Mental Health Awareness Month. So we're going to dive deep into it. I'm super excited about this guest, because she is like, she's an OG for real. So I appreciate y'all for tuning in. So again, make sure you tune in for the next 2 weeks. We're gonna have a guest speaker on the show, and then when it comes to June, I will let y'all know that we'll just be doing very short episodes, probably like 5-minute episodes, because I'm working on some stuff behind the scenes for you guys that's coming very soon. So I wanted to just kind of give y'all a heads up that June we'll be doing some brief, I'm gonna try to keep it 5 minutes, little encouragements, bop, something that'll get you through the week. It's not gonna be anything too lengthy, so you guys can listen to it on the way to work and what have you. But I love y'all so very much. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you follow us on Instagram. I'm trying to get our Instagram to like 500. Do we have 500 followers? Let me not play, y'all. Let's try and get we finally reached 500 subscribers here on YouTube. The goal is 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. So make sure you share this with anyone so they can follow the channel. Again, some educational content will be dropping soon as far as the YouTuber beginner series. Stay tuned for that. And make sure you follow us on Instagram. We're trying to get to 500 followers. Make sure you guys follow us over there. Maybe we'll do a giveaway or something like that, because y'all been supporting heavy and I appreciate y'all so much. Like, your support does not go unnoticed. I love y'all. When I say that, I really mean it. I love y'all and I appreciate y'all. And until next week.
If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to subscribe to the podcast and feel free to connect with me on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube at Slim Reshae. That's SLIMRESHAE. Links will be listed in the show notes, and until next time, love yourself and be beautiful. When you're back, when you need to